A week before the presidential election, the police probe into the constitutional amendment is picking up pace. We now speak with social affairs reporter Gil Ki-beom. Reporter Gil, the travel ban on former Prime Minister Han came after the unification talks collapsed. What is the police response?
The police confirmed that the travel ban was indeed issued after the unification talks failed. However, they firmly denied that the acceleration of the investigation following the failure of the talks was in any way politically motivated.
Let's look at the investigation. What's the difference between the security footage and the witnesses' statements?
A police official said the security footage from the reception room and hallway of the presidential office does not include audio. The recent questioning was reportedly prompted by discrepancies between the three individuals' actions seen in the footage and their previous statements. All three received documents or notes related to martial law. Former Prime Minister Han received the martial law declaration. Former Deputy Prime Minister Choi got a note on an emergency legislative body, and former Interior Minister Lee received a note about cutting power and water, though he reportedly said he paid little attention to it.
At the presidential office, there were a few paper notes seen from a distance. Among those notes, there were mentions of the National Fire Agency and orders about cutting off utilities.
However, the security footage may have captured them examining the notes or engaging in discussions with former President Yoon.
So how will the investigation proceed regarding these three individuals?
The police stated that they have not yet notified the three individuals of any additional summons. While there is speculation about securing their custody, it appears likely that the police may book them on additional charges. If it is revealed that they made false testimonies at the National Assembly or the Constitutional Court, they could be charged with violating the National Assembly testimony law or perjury.
The police also claimed that they successfully secured the critical encrypted phone server last year. Can you briefly explain this?
The police successfully restored the server starting from March of last year, which was 8 months before the emergency declaration. Coincidentally, this is the time known as when former President Yoon discussed martial law for the first time with former Minister Kim Yong-hyun at the Samcheong-dong residence. If the encrypted phone server from that time is analyzed, it could reveal the overall situation of the martial law plans. However, since the treason trial has already begun, the server cannot be separately investigated at this time. If the court issues a search and seizure warrant and secures the server, the footage could be used as trial evidence. The insurrection trial is being overseen by Chief Judge Ji Gui-yeon, who is under suspicion of receiving entertainment at a room salon. Depending on the court's ruling, the case could still have political consequences.
There's also the possibility of an investigation into former President Yoon Suk-yeol. Shall we briefly touch on that as well?
Yes, the possibility seems quite high. However, a police official firmly stated, "We're not at that stage yet. It's not something to discuss at this point." The police assert the authority to delete the encrypted phone server rested with the security office. It couldn't have been erased without explicit orders from leadership there. They are likely to summon former Deputy Chief of the Security Office Kim Sang-hun to ask if he gave the deletion order and whether it came from higher-ups like former President Yoon. Since Deputy Chief Kim has repeatedly denied any connection to President Yoon, it could take a significant time before the investigation involves the former president.
All right, that's all for now on this story. That was Gil Ki-beom from the Social Affairs Desk. Thank you.